over and have a little chit chat about my experience on this tour. Now, disclaimer, this isn't to slander or to shame the university in any type of way. This is just to talk about my experience. I say the campus is pretty big. Passing period to get to your classes, even if you live far off of campus, there's like a 10-minute passing period. As I was touring the school, I saw that like a lot of kids were just walking to their classes and stuff. So the classes in the building seem to be very close with the dormitories. So even if like seniors or juniors or sophomores decide to live off of campus, that you get to pay $75 and for like to have your car there, and that covers your whole entire year at that school. Like you don't have to renew it during semesters or in the middle of the year. That covers you throughout the whole entire year. Also, as we were like touring, I did get to see the girls' dormitory, and it is pretty big, and I do like the fact that like I can have my own side and my roommate can have her own side. Like we're not stacked on top of each other. And I didn't like that when I toured Eastern Illinois, like we had to be stacked on top of each other because there was like a lot of furniture in the room, so it didn't give us any room to like have our own side. So I didn't really like that about Eastern. Also, at Olivet, where you have to go to the chapel is mandatory for like all students to like go to. Like you have to go to the chapel, I think Monday through Thursday, but you guys don't have to go to like the chapel on Sundays. Like they do encourage you to go out and find a church within like the surrounding neighborhoods and stuff. Also, I liked the fact that it seems very chill and quiet. You know, it doesn't seem like a whole lot of stuff. Like I said, like, you know, I like the fact about like the cars. Like if I like get a car and I bring my car on campus, I can pay $75 for like without covering me, like as opposed to with some other universities, like you'll probably have to pay like $50 or $85, and you'll still have to like renew it during the year. Like I don't like that. And in some other universities, they don't require you to bring your car as a freshman because they have a lot of bus services and things like that. And I did go meet with my major professor, and something about this interaction kind of caught me off guard. And just a quick another warning, this isn't to slander or to shame anybody in no particular way. This is just what I again have experienced being on this tour. But of course, you know, she was giving us the basics and the rundowns and the details and the information that we need to know about like what type of classes and stuff that we have to take, including gen ed for our major. And she was also kind of like trying to know about like what type of career or occupation do we want to go to with this major. And I told her that I wanted to go more into like the legal field, like being a lawyer, a prosecutor, a judge, and you know, all of that, attorney general and all that stuff, and like the legal and political side. And the other student who was touring, or person who's a boy and he's white, he was saying that he wanted to go into law enforcement. And so, you know, she was kind of basically, of course, you know, praising him, and she was like, you know, kind of seeing like that's really good, and like, you know, like we have a lot of graduates and kids now who like, you know, do all that type of stuff. And like throughout the whole entire thing, of course, like I was very quiet because I am a quiet person. Like when I go to a place that is foreign and unknown to me, I'm going to be quiet. I'm the type of person to observe and to kind of scope the scenery out in any type of social event. Like I'm not the type of person that will like just go to a social event and be the loudest person in the room, like mixing and mingling. Like I'm the type of person that to go in a social event, and like it depends. Like I know like when I was younger, like I would be quiet in the beginning of it, but then like start making friends at the end, and just like I would hate to leave any type of social event because it's like I just made this friend, like now I don't want to leave. But I feel like I am still, a part of me is still like that at some social events, but like at some, I'm just kind of like trying to learn everybody and trying to like see the type of people I want to talk to and go up to. But this, of course, I want to say me and the other student, we were both equally as quiet. Like, there was really no in between. I kind of like asked questions, and if he didn't have any questions, he would look at me to see if I had any questions. And sometimes like I would say no, or I'll look at him to see if he had any questions. So it was just kind of that. But something she did say was like, I had looked at the paper and I was kind of like, you know, like looking around, trying to like find any questions if I had about any other majors and stuff. But she was like, oh, you know, you're kind of quiet over there. And then she was asking me, and she was like, oh, you know, like, are you just quiet naturally? Are you quiet because, you know, I don't know you? And I was kind of like quickly cut her off. And I was like, oh, I'm just quiet naturally. Because I am. And a lot of people have like asked me, like, am I just this naturally quiet? And it's like, yeah, I am naturally quiet. Like, even at school, I'm naturally quiet. Like, in classes, of course, I don't have my friends. I don't have with my friends, like, I'm quiet. But I'll still ask my teacher questions if I have to. And in some classes where I do have my friends, and you know, I do have those days where I just want to be quiet and I don't want to really talk to people. And like, I'll walk the halls with my friends and talk. Like, even back at my old school before I transferred, like, I was still known as quiet and naturally shy and soft-spoken. So it's just like, when people ask me that question, like, of course I didn't like take it too personally, but it was kind of caught me off guard because it's like, he's also as quiet as I am, and I did ask questions, but it just kind of, to me, felt like it was a bit microaggressive. Okay, so what I mean was that she was explaining to him more about how the major would help him in his occupation rather than how it would help me in my occupation. And when she would tell me how it would help me, she would only just repeat herself of like the same things that she already told me previously before, and then can proceed to ask me if I have any questions afterwards. And sometimes I'll like tell her no, because it's like I kind of already asked you questions before, and then that's why I feel like it caught me off guard and a bit stereotypical, because, you know, some white people think that like black women are just loud and obnoxious and just overly expressive, and some black girls and young adults are just naturally quiet, soft-spoken. They aren't as loud and they aren't as expressive, but we can talk if we want to, and I'm just not automatically gonna be a talking tom. Your information, and like I said, like, I had questions and I did ask, and she did answer them to the best of her ability. So I was like asking, some of the questions I asked her was like, oh, do you guys have a mock trial? If like, let's say if a person doesn't want to be a criminal defense lawyer, because she did ask me what type of lawyer I wanted to be, and I said a criminal defense. And I was like, if a person doesn't want to be a criminal defense and they want, of course, want to go to family law or diverse law or any type of civil law like sports entertainment or anything else, can they still, like, of course, get shadowed or see judges, or you know all these type of different internships that, of course, the school has once you get to be a junior or a senior? And she was like, yeah, of course. And of course she answered that question to the best of her abilities and stuff. And she said, you know, they don't have a mock trial, but they do kind of have like a team that's about politics, since I want to be a political major as well. And they do a lot of debating. Of course, it will help me get to that point where, you know, it will help me get to that point in law school where I want to be a lawyer. And of course, I'm gonna have to argue and stuff, and do like opening statements and closing statements and stuff. So that's basically how my trip was, and I hope you guys enjoy watching this and watching, you know, using this with me as well. And I promise that I will try to post more stuff. But I hope you guys like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys again in the next video. Bye.